यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैव समं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदेशभु कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ओम। वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। Today we shall see Yoga Vasishtha Nirvana Prakarana and last half. In that 35th chapter, we have to see in this chapter प्रपंच सहित तथा प्रपंच रहित ब्रह्म तत्व की अखंड एक दृष्टि के लिए सत्य और असत्य दोनों तरह से भासमान ब्रह्म के स्वरूप की विस्तार पूर्वक वर्णन। We shall discuss today in this chapter about the absolute truth, which is one without a second, only one which is absolute existence, absolute knowledge and absolute bliss, existence, bliss and knowledge absolute. That we don't know it ordinarily. In common parlance, we don't know what is the truth. General common people, they don't understand what is truth. We, as common people, ignorant people, we know whatever we see, that is our world, and that does exist. And this is the truth what we see for us. But when we go on contemplating, discussing on, analyzing on this visible truth, whatever we know as the truth, we find everything is subject to change. Every object, whatever is perceived by us, by our senses, by our mind or intellect, whatever we know, whatever we see through our senses, everything we take it as the truth, but when we analyze, it doesn't appear to be true. Why? Because everything is subject to change. So when it is changing, how we can say it is the truth? Because it is changing. The changing phenomena cannot be true. Say now you are a human being. After 5 minutes you will become a lion. After 10 minutes you will become a bird. So if somebody asks you, what are you? What are you going to say? Are you a human being, or a lion, or a bird, or a tree, or a stone? What are you? One thing which never changes, that can be taken as truth. Whatever changes cannot be truth. So when we analyze whatever we see, our visible world around us, that is subject to change, so it cannot be truth. Analytically, when we discuss on it, analyze things, then only we know all these, whatever we see around us as a visible world, is not the truth. Anybody can agree to it, because everything is subject to change. Now, if this is not the truth, then what is the truth? Truth, when we go on analyzing over it, then we see truth is something which is not changed, not subject to change, not changeable, ever constant, ever existing, ever aware of itself, and it can be only one, it cannot be two. All pervading factor can be only one. If two will be there, then there will be interruption, there will be contradiction, there will be comparison, there will be relationship, relativity. So it cannot be absolute truth. So absolute truth should be, according to our analytical understanding, it should be only one without a second. Now, if one will be there, then there is no possibility of the second. Okay? So whatever exists, it should be truth only. And whatever we see, it should be truth only. From one angle of analytical view, we can conclude this, that whatever is around us, though it looks to be changing, yet it will be only truth, because there cannot be anything other than the truth. So it is one. So this is what we see. So this will be truth. But how it is changing, why it is changing, so how can we take the truth? So always contradiction, doubts. Now we shall analyze it taking different examples. Say, for example, water. Everybody knows what is water. Can you differentiate the liquidity from the water? Water appears as water, and yet it is known as liquidity. Everybody knows. So liquidity is the nature of it, which cannot be differentiated from the water. It is water only, but it looks as different from water. Not only liquidity, see the waves, ripples, tides, bubbles, whirlpools, all these, they are only water, they cannot be different from the water. But they look different. When we see the wave is wavery, it is vibratory, it is subject to change. Though it changes, yet it is water only. Even if the water looks like a wave or like a bubble or like a whirlpool or like a current flowing water, in all these conditions water is water only, unchangeable. But it looks as if it is changing. So we can conclude our vision is changing, not the water. Water remains as water all the time, in all conditions, but our vision changes. That's how we see water in different other forms, which we know as changing phenomena. Similarly, we see something, but we understand something other than what we see. Generally, our vision is so quick and so flittery, so uncertain. That's how we see something which goes on changing. Another example we can take, see how our vision changes. The objects never change. From other angle when we see you are traveling in a fast train, bullet train. When you see outside, what do you see? The trees or the other objects, they move so fast back, they are moving back. You are constant, whereas the other things outside, they are moving fast. And we know they cannot move, we are moving. But it looks like I am constant, other objects outside are moving. This is how we can accept our vision is wrong, our vision is faulty, defective, but the things are something other than what we see. Can you agree? In this way, something is there which we don't understand because our vision is not perfect. Our vision is dependent upon many things, senses and our mind. Mind is dependent on prana and many other things. And it is so flittering. The moment we see something by our eyes or hear something by ears, whatever we perceive by our different senses, they change because our vision changes. I am hearing now the sound of murmuring sound of Ganga, and now if you say tell something, if you ask some question, I forget Ganga is murmuring sound, and I will hear your sound. Or some bird is singing something, I forget other sounds, I hear this. In this way, our vision means our senses, they are so quick changing process. That's how whatever we see that appears as if it is changing, but really speaking, it is not changing, just as the waves are not changing water. It is watery in all conditions. And also you see the picture on a screen. We see the picture, so in the picture many colors, many forms, linings, so many things. We cannot see everything at a time, one after the other. If we see the eyes of Lord Shiva, we are not aware of its background screen. We forget it. And we see the eyes, and not only eyes, one eye is not there, two eyes are there. Then the head is seen, then the moon is seen, the curly hair is seen, so the neck is seen. So we go on changing according to the forms and names of the forms and colors and everything. That is our nature, nature of our vision, which is subject to change. But really speaking, there is nothing is changing, everything is fixed. The color, lines, everything is fixed. So we have limited capacity of perception. We see something at a time and that changes, that is due to limited faulty vision by our senses. Really speaking, when we again analyze it from still different angle, see, this mind is always changing. So, though the senses may be fixed, the mind is changing means it will see differences. Even if the senses are right or they are fixed, they don't change, if at all. Then we see the mind is changing. If mind is fixed, see, the intellect is changing. Whatever it is, it has seen, it has to be decided how it is, what it is. So that is the work of the intellect. Oh, it is the picture of Lord Shiva. Oh, eyes are black and his neck is blue. And oh, the moon is white. In this way, all the changes we see, though nothing is changing there. And still, the background scene never changes. Background screen never changes. It is always the same. Though we see some forest fire in the picture, in the drawing picture, we see there is a forest fire in the forest. The fire is burning and the birds are flying and the animals are running away. All these we see, but reality, nothing is happening there. Neither the fire can burn you, nor the animals can attack you, nor you can catch the bird. Nothing happens there. So in this way, when we analyze with logic and perfectly from different angles, we come to the conclusion. Our senses, our vision with senses, mind, intellect, everything is changing, and the object of vision is not really changing. And still from other angle, we have some factor, everybody has it. We cannot go out of it. Time, space and conditions. When time changes, the changing phenomena is known as time. The moment you say it is 12 o'clock, it is gone. And now 12 o'clock, 1 second. The moment you say it is 1 second past 12, it has become 2 seconds. So this changing phenomena, which we calculate, how can we calculate how it changes? If 1 becomes 2, then only we know 1 and 2 and then 3. There is gap. That means it is changing. That is how the calculative process is known as the time. Time changes or the calculation changes. The changing process is known as time. And similarly the space also. Space also changes, though it doesn't change really. Our perception or our vision changes, so we say space changes, time changes, and that is known by mind, because mind is flittering, so time also goes on changing. So in this way, if we can be little broad-minded, we can say the time is nothing but mind, mind is nothing but time. And if we see the whole world is based upon action and reaction formula, every action has its opposite and equal reaction, then action means change. Or else action cannot have reaction. And action, if we see analytically, whatever changes is known as action. If you don't change your body or senses, your mind, then there is no action. Everything is steadied. So, changing is known as action and reaction. And this is how, if we go on analyzing names and forms and actions and reactions and the doer, doing process, action and done object, this is how we see the world, by the methods of triads. Triad, the seer, seen, object and seeing process. Now, if I see my hand, do I change or I don't change? Come on. If I see my hand, I am the seer. I means the whole total body. That is known as I. I see my hand means I see the hand. So is it in one, non-changing one, or changing phenomena? Changing, but within the body. It is not outside the body. The eye sees the hand, that means it is only the body sees the body. So how can you say changing? So from different angles when we see and analyze, then sometimes it appears to be non-changing, sometimes it appears as it changing. If the body sees the body, it is non-changing. If the eye sees the hands, then it is changing. So okay? So in this way, Our understanding is not perfect. And why it is not perfect? We have to go to the process of perception, how we perceive the object, how we understand the objects. The mind, without mind we don't know anything. Mind is the root. And mind is nothing but a vibratory process. When prana means the energy, vital energy, which activates in the whole body, everywhere it is acting, ever acting. It cannot stop. Of course, in yoga we try to stop it. That is different subject now. But prana always working, and when prana vibrates, that is called energy. The vibratory process is known as energy. Energy means changing. See the electricity, it is energy. It becomes so many different things. Every moment it changes and takes, according to its action or influence, it takes different names. Same electricity, which is known as energy, it is known as light, it is known as sound, it is known as magnet, what not. So in this way, the changing phenomena is nothing but energy, and that is how everything appears to be changing. Action and reaction, seer, seen and seeing process, and our perception also. Perception, mind when vibrates, when the prana vibrates in particular portion of the body, we can say it is brain, then those vibrations are known as thought waves. Thought waves. So prana is ever working, so thoughts will be ever created. And when, according to some process, if at all prana stops vibrating in the brain cells, we say mind is at rest, or mind is not working, mind is at rest. In the background, the prana is not working. That's how the vibrations are not being created. So mind is not working. And according to Yoga Sutra, we know to stop the thought waves is known as yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta is the subtle mind, subconscious mind. So when the mind stops, that means the prana stops. And that's how when you forcibly or by some tricks, if you can stop the prana, then mind has to stop. So everything stops. Everything means the heart beating also, after some time it will stop. Because of a momentum, it may work for a while, but after some time it has to stop, because the energy is not there. Just as if the fuel is not there, car will stop. If the fuel is not there, the generator will stop. That is energy. When energy is not working, so everything will stop. Now, if prana is not working, then mind doesn't work. And when mind doesn't work, the senses are good for nothing. They are useless. In this way, from different angles when we see the whole thing, somehow or other, somewhere or other it has started working. That is known as the universal energy. That is known as the universal prana. The universal system of working. And we are part and parcel of it, because we are in it, in the process. If the Ganga is flowing, whatever waves, different waves you see, is it other than Ganga? Similarly, Ganga will be taken as universal energy. Waves are individual energies. Our movement is known as universal energy, and particular waves, they are individual energy. They are limited. In this way, we are part and parcel of everyone, not only human beings, all the beings. All the beings means even the animals, birds, insects, and the trees, or the stone, or the water, or air, everything, whatever we know, everything is subject to change because of the universal energy, because there has been given a momentum to change. And if in this way we analyze everything together from different angles, then we come to know one thing appears as many things. In the beginning we have discussed there can be only one. There cannot be two. Without one you cannot make two, or three, or four, or many. So that constancy, which is never changing, ever constant, ever stable, ever balanced, that is one, that will be one. And if it vibrates, if somehow or other, if it appears to be many, we see many, but it will be one, just as waves and water. So now we come to conclusion that the absolute is one without a second, which is ever constant. That means the constancy or equilibrium state or the balance state, which is eternally harmonious, no change. That somehow or other that looks to be many. Another example you can take. You see your body. Can you see the whole one body? Huh? This is body. So from two angles we see. Of course this is body because it is within the body, part of the body. But from other angle it is not the body, it is a part of the body. So when we see the body, we see only many parts of it, not the whole total body. We cannot see because of our faulty and limited vision. Our vision is obstructed. When it sees one, then it cannot see the other. This is the limitedness of our vision. And vision, of course, by senses, mind and intellect. Now, this is how one appears to be many. So we have to take for granted that whatever we see, though we see changes and manyness, it will be only one. So they are not different from each other, just as waves and water. They appear as different from each other. They are really not different. Water and picture we saw, the body we saw, many examples wherever you go. See the tree. Can you see the tree? No. From one angle you see the tree. You are right. From another angle you are wrong. You don't see the tree anywhere. You see the parts of the tree, either the leaves or flowers or fruits or the branches, sub-branches or the trunk. Something you see, not the tree. But everything is within one tree. So this vision, one appears as many, many appears as one. This is confusion, the cause for confusion. And this is cause for ignorance also. This is cause for our faulty vision also. And this is what is known as time, space, conditions, our vision, our mind, our energy, everything. Action and reactions, our whatever we see as visible world, names and forms, whatever names and forms we visualize, they are in two ways. One is background is constant, the vision is changing. In this way, from other angle also we can see perception. We perceive some object by mind and senses. When the vibratory process starts in the brain cells, some vibrations are created, waves are created by the prana. Those are called thought waves. Because it is wave, it is not constant. It has to move on. Movement or change is known as action. So mind starts moving. Waves start moving. So when one moves, then there will be differences. And then there will be intervals. Then only differences can we see. Intervals. In this way, this is known as action and reaction. This is also the wave going out. We have the idea of out and in, outside and inside. If it moves, there will be an interruption. So there how we understand this is this side, this is that side. If there is a white paper, draw a line. If it is quite white, then there is no difference, there is no waves, and there is no inside or outside. If you put one line, then this side and that side, difference starts. In this way, if at all the one appears as many due to limiting vision or limiting process, that's how it changes. And so mind, when it is moving, it is waves, thought waves, it has to move, so it goes out of inside. It goes out. Then what is the lining, demarcating line? It is the body and the outer part of the body, that is skin, or we can say the senses. Within the senses, outside the senses. Thought waves, when it goes out of the eyes, outside, and it was inside. Similarly, ears, When it goes out, then only it hears. Inside, it is not able to hear. Similarly, smell, when the thought waves, they go out of the nose, then only we smell. What happens when it goes out? It goes out through a particular sense. That means, sense means a gateway. Just as from room, inside room, we go out, that means the boundary is the door. Inside door and outside door. There will be some boundary, limiting line, demarcating line. These senses are the demarcating lines. And body is inside body and outside body. So these thought waves go outside the body through a particular sense, say eyes or ears. 5 senses are there. Senses to see, to hear, to smell, to touch and to taste. 5 ways we can perceive the things. That means through 5 gateways the thought waves go out and they get contact with a particular object. How? If the thought waves goes out of the eyes, then it can only see it can contact with the form, not with the sound, not with the smell. Similarly, when the thought waves go out through the ear, then it will hear the sound only. Means the object of these senses are differently known. Eyes will have forms and ears will have sound. In this way, 5, touch and smell and taste. So the thought waves go out through the particular any sense and gets obstructed by the particular object. If it goes out through the eyes, it will be obstructed by some form. And when it gets obstructed, that means it is stopped there. So the wave will clash against the object and then it cannot go further, it has to come back. This is the nature. If you are going somewhere and there is a wall, can you go through the wall? You have to come back. So similarly, the thought waves, when they go out by the particular sense and get obstructed by particular object, then they have to come back. When they come back, because they have contact with the object, they bring some impressions from the object. Some impressions. If it is a wall, some form of the wall, then wall will have some color or some shape or some size or something. So that is what the waves getting obstructed and coming back, and they bring back those informations or impressions. They are collected in the starting point that is called the subconscious mind, which is subtlemost part of the mind, which is able to keep up such innumerable, unimaginable such impressions it can hold. How? Because it is subtlemost. See what is the difference between subtle and gross. You see the earth is gross, clay, earth is gross. Subtler than the earth is water, isn't it? So, water is more pervading than the earth. Wherever you dig, water will be there in the earth. It is all pervading. And it is more spacious than the gross earth. So subtler than the water is fire. Fire is present everywhere, in water also, in earth also. It is more spacious, more pervading than the water and earth. So subtle means it will be more spacious. Subtlemost is the sky. So sky is overpowering all these earth, water, fire and air. Everything is within the sky because it is all pervasive and because it is subtlemost. So now we have some idea, understanding about the gross and subtle. Subtle means more spacious, more holding capacity. In this way, gross mind and subtle mind. Subtle mind keeps all the impressions collected by gross mind. Gross mind means thought waves. When it gets contact with the object, particular object, then it brings back some impressions and the same mind, subtlemost mind, keeps it. Hari Om, Gaya.
Swamiji, when our prana or breath is controlled or stopped, and that time our thought processes are also, our thought waves are also stopped, it's so.
Pardon?
When our breath or the prana,
Everything stops.
so what happened next to that?
Yes.
Stop.
What happens next? अरे कोई है भाई अंदर? कोई नहीं है.
In that additional question,
कोई इंफॉर्मेशन शायद नहीं गया था. दिए थे?
नहीं मैसेज आया,
हैं?
मैसेज आया.
वो सुहासिन को बोले थे आज क्लास होगा. नहीं यही तो बात.
मैसेज इसलिए आया.
क्यों भाई? आप सुहासिन को बोले थे? कोई नहीं बोले, तभी तो वो आए नहीं कोई. चलो कोई बात नहीं. हम हाँ वही सब सबको इन्फॉर्म करती है. नहीं हैं? नहीं क्यों बंद करें? रहने दो. हम ही हैं दुनिया. Anyhow, now our subtlemost mind, that is known as subconscious mind, that holds, that keeps up all the informations collected by gross mind or by the gross thought waves. So now, that is our understanding, that is our knowledge, and that is ever flittering, because ever obstructed. Our perception is faulty, it is always objected and obstructed. We cannot see unlimited, we cannot hear unlimitedly, we cannot smell unlimitedly, everything has limitations. In this way, because of limitations, because of obstructions, our perception, our vision our understanding is limited. Got the point? And if at all you can stop all these process, just as our Chaudhary Sahib says, what happens then? We have already now discussed, but you have not given importance to that point. The equilibrium state, balance state is really truth, and which is holding everything within it, the subtlemost, and that's how our limited agents, they cannot reach their mind, thought and prana, etc. They are limited agents. They cannot reach the highest director. The director is living inside the fort. Nobody can reach there. You are all outside the gate. Outside the gate. Everything is outside. So this is how, if everything stops, that stoppage or what stops? Everything means the vibratory system, all the changing system or the instability stops, the stability will be there. Naturally what remains, that is the truth. That will be absolute constancy, which is all-pervading, which is present eternally, which is one without a second, which is the substratum for everything, which is cause for all the causes. Then only all causes and effects, cause and effect theory comes. There will be something. You see, the picture, the background is always there without any change. And when we see the face, we have to see the eyes, then only it will be a face. So everything is cause and effect. Because face will have eyes and nose. So in this way we go on changing, and in this way everything is limited. In this way, one after the other sequence comes, and calculation comes, time comes, space comes, and everything is in a movement. Everything is changing. This is called nature. The moment you want to see, then there will be changes only. And if you don't see, the background is there. You cannot deny it. So that's how yoga indirectly says you to be steady, and of course directly it says by doing meditation or samadhi, etc., or stopping the thought waves, prana also. It is, take it as direct or indirect as you like, but it says so. So in the end what remains? When everything stops, absolute constancy is there. If the waves stop, what remains? Water remains. It has to. It cannot be denied. If the bubbles burst, what remains? So when everything stops, when you stop seeing, stop thinking, stop your hearing, etc., using your senses or mind or prana, when everything stops, you remain, you are the truth. You cannot deny yourself. Who has stopped all these? Yourself have stopped. So that is known as the seer or the knower or the absolute truth which never changes. In this way, from different angles when we see, from different angles when we analyze and logically, with examples, with logic, then we come to conclusion that these visible phenomena, which is not reality, background of which there is something we cannot deny, and that is never changing, whereas this visible world is ever changing. So that never changing cannot be seen because our seeing process, vision is faulty and limited, unchangeable. That's how we don't see the reality. So, if this vision is before us, whatever till now, whatever we have discussed, keep it before you, just as the world map. Then you can see anything and everything in the world map. Where is India? Oh, there. Where is Japan? Oh, there. Where is Washington? Oh, there. Because everything, whole total world map is before you. So anything and everything you can see. Similarly, here when we see it, when we keep all these analytical and logical views before us, then we can understand how this visible world, whatever we see, it is, whether it is wrong or it is right, whether does it exist or it doesn't exist. All these we can understand. So, keeping all these before us, now we come to see whatever forms and names we see, that is called nature. Nature means, how is nature? Nature also we can, nature means quality or property or its a changing aspect. If it is not subject to change, then it cannot be visible. See, when we discussed our perception theory, it is seeing some object means it is a process. Process means changing. Process means it is a changing action. Every moment it changes. So in this way, if we see something, we see the changing phenomena which is known as the nature of the object. Nature of the object. For example, water we cannot see without its liquidity or color or taste or movement. If all these are not there, qualities are not there, there is nothing called water. Similarly, the fire, there will be some form and there will be heat and light. Then only we know what is fire. Fire minus heat and form and light, what is there? Is there anything called fire? So but it does exist without this. So that existence is known as fire, which is seen by all these qualities. Without qualities, without the properties which are subject to change. Heat, say fire is understood by heat. Okay, does heat remain constant? Huh? Your temperature, when you see in the barometer, does it remain constant? Always changing, always changing. And plus also is temperature, minus also is temperature. Cold also is known as temperature, fire, and 50 degree plus 50 degree centigrade also is known as temperature, and minus 50 degree also is known as temperature. That means fire also is cold and heat, both. When you see two things. One and other is opposite of it. Without this we cannot see, we cannot know anything. This is called relativity, relative world, which is always made by pairs of opposites. If good is there, you know what is good because of the bad. Without comparing, you don't know what is good. You know cold because of heat. Without heat, you don't understand what is cold. If always the temperature remains the same in equator, there is neither cold nor heat. So that equilibrium cannot be taken as something, cannot be seen as something. That changing phenomena in nature, and if at all if you see something that is changing, that is nature, that is quality. Quality means our perception, our mind also, and time, space and conditions also, and all these together known as nature or the quality. So in one word we can say this visible world is the quality of the absolute background, or adjective of the world is nothing but adjective of the absolute truth. Grammatically, in grammatical language we can say like that. In philosophical language we say it is the nature or its a habit. It is like this. Water means there will be color or liquidity or taste or something. Without that we don't know what is water. Water cannot be seen without its qualities. Fire cannot be seen without its nature. Similarly, the wind. Do you know what is wind? When it moves, when it touches you, then only you know what is wind. Wind means movement. Then only it touches you. Have you seen the wind? Neither you nor who has seen the wind? Neither you nor I. But when the trees nod their heads, or the flag flaps, the wind passes by. That's how we know what is wind. Who has seen the wind? Have you seen the sky? We say we see the sky, but where is sky? When we say, have you seen the sky? We see up. There is no sky down. We see up. This is how we see and we understand something. So from all these discussions, we come to the conclusion that the changing phenomena is what we know as the world, which we know to be truth. It is not the truth. It is the opposite of the truth. Just as good and bad, high and low, or cold and heat. Similarly, whatever we don't know, that is there, of course. You don't know, but it is there. And what we know, that is subject to change. So it's nature. This is how this is called as nature or the changing phenomena. And now we shall understand it from different other examples also. See, can you see your reflection? You don't see in the mirror. You see what is called reflection? Is it you or it is not you? How do you understand it when you analyze and try to understand? How do you understand it? It is neither different from me nor same as me. It is how, of course, from physics, law of light, movement of light, you can understand how the light passes and reflects. The same our face, when the light from our face gets transferred and it obstructed in some opaque surface, again it will be transferred, again and again it goes on. So in this way, the reflection is because of the object, me, but it cannot be different from me. If I am not there, if the object is not there, there is no reflection. It is neither different from the object nor it is same as the object. Something because of other causes, that is opaque surface or transparent surface. See the crystal, say prism, all around it, whatever objects are there, they are reflected automatically in the prism. But prism naturally, it is so transparent. Because of its transparency, which is known as purity, which is known as oneness. Purity means oneness, which is known as purity, oneness, transparency. Because of it, it holds everything within it. Other example also we can see. If a house is full of lenses of different size and different types, say convex, concave, and big size, small size, all around you there are lenses. It is not wall. So what will you see? How many images of you? How many reflections you can see? The reflection is reflected in the reflections. the reflections will be reflected in the reflections. That is how it goes on multiplying endlessly, infinitely. It goes on multiplying. As you see, it goes on multiplying. If you don't see, it is there, which is not multiplying, which is not changing. If you see, it will start it. Seeing means becoming many, or that is called nature, that is called reflection, that is called shadow also. If you stand outside here also, you have a shadow, because light is there, shadow will be there. That is how we draw the picture, drawings, light and shadow. Black and white pictures. Everything will have shadow. So that shadow is neither true nor false. This is how we see this world, which is nothing but the reflection of the Absolute, or the adjective of the Absolute, or the nature of the Absolute, which is not there, yet it is being seen. Something is there. In this way, we have to see this visible world, we have to analyze it and understand. Now, from still other angle, this visible world is nothing but, when we analyze, it is nothing but 5 elements, gross elements. Gross elements means basically we can take these 5 elements which are mixed up in a particular way with each other, and these forms are made. How? Just as the water particles, which is present in the atmosphere, we call it humidity. When they get more and more compact or more gross, we call it cloud. And when still more it becomes solid, or little more accumulation of those particles, then it becomes water. Or when there is a fountain, some sprinkling water, those water particles, they get together, so they become more solid and more visible. In this way, they say, and they means the seers who have seen it analytically and experienced it, and who has deleted all these visibilities, who have deleted their reflections and seen the opaque, pure mirror without any reflections. They say all these worlds are made up of 5 elements. They are within themselves. Just as, see, this is a book. What is called book? How do you define the book? The collection of some pages, or pages. Pages, how page is defined? Collection of some lines, some written lines. And how the line is defined? It is either a sentence or part of it, a line. So part of it, then it is nothing but words, collection of different words. So how do you define the word? Word is nothing but collection of togetherness of totality of some alphabets. What is an alphabet? Alphabet also is divided into some lines or some figure. In this way, when we go on analyzing, we reach somewhere which we cannot express. That is expressed as smaller than the smallest, Anuranyan. Smaller than the smallest we know as atom, and still atom has got divisions. Neutron, proton, electron, so many things. Center. So even smaller than the atom, till we can understand, we can go, then we have to stop understanding or stop investigating. That can be only expressed as smaller than the smallest. This is the language. And bigger than the biggest, if you go on getting, piling up everything, so everything is one. Just as all the parts of the body is only one body. Similarly, that cosmic body is bigger than the biggest. That's how it is called Virat. Virat, there is no limit for it. It is unlimited bigness. Infinite. In this way, we see this visible world, and if it is so, if something is visible, then, and whatever we see, whatever is visible to us, it is different from each other. Everything is different from each other. So we have to go, something is different there, everywhere. That is, and in one object also we see the difference. One tree, there is difference. And one leaf, there is difference in the one leaf also. One bird, there is difference. One line, there is difference. One straight line, there is difference also. One point, one dot is different from the other dot. In the straight line, difference is everywhere seen. So, if at all we see something, we can conclude freely, without any complaint, that everything is some mixed up group. Mixed up, some mixture. So mixture, if it is a mixture, then ingredients will be different. So how many ingredients are there? It is a composition, it is a mixture. So what are the elements are there? We find 5 elements. So 5 elements we can take as the sky, the ether, which is subtlemost and which can hold everything. There is no end to, there is no limit to the sky. All pervasiveness, if it is seen, it is known as sky. All pervasiveness, if is seen, then that is known as sky, which is unlimited, which cannot be seen properly as we think we see the world, we see the sky. It is never seen. Ever empty, yet ever holds everything within it. So in this way, unexpressible, this is called sky. We see the blueness, but there is no blueness in it. We see all the colors in the sky, but there is no color when we analyze it. In this way, something we have taken as the sky, we call it ether or space or something which holds everything within it. Then, if this starts moving, this ether starts moving, that movement is known as air, which gives a push, a momentum to all the moving objects. Everything is moving. Nothing in this world, whatever we see, is stable. Everything is moving. So if it is moving, then somebody has somehow or other, some momentum is given. That's how it is moving. So that momentum is called prana or energy, universal energy or movement or energy we can say. That is called prana. That is called air, the universal cosmic prana. And then when it moves, automatically we see physically, from physical science, physics, we know if there is a movement, there will be some friction. So naturally the heat will be produced. That is called fire. If the sky has started moving, then there will be movement known as air, and there will be fire also. And where there is fire, fire is nothing but water only. Oxygen and hydrogen is flammable fire atoms. They are nothing but when they get together in a particular way, H2O is called water. And when there will be water, there will be some dots within it. Some solidity will be there. When one thing gets piled up or gets accumulated again and again, then that becomes the solid. The subtle, when gets repeated again and again, that becomes solid. Now we discussed on the humidity, fog, and a cloud, and also water. And also water is ice and snow, and it becomes solid also. It becomes charcoal also. It becomes a diamond also. Same hydrogen and oxygen. It becomes so solid, it can cut the iron also. In this way, 5 elements we have discovered out of this changing phenomena. So, these 5 elements, when they get together in different ratios, in different ways, in different time, all these visible forms and names are created. They get created in this way. So, mixture of composition of all these 5 elements. And if it is not composed, it is there. And if it is composed, it is there. There is no harm in composition or no composition. The elements are there. Okay? If the sky doesn't move, if wind is not present, then how do you take it? What do you understand? When we have seen now, if the ether starts moving, vibrating, that is known as energy. When I move the hand then only the finger can get together or they can move, so I can eat. If they don't move at all, hand never moves, fingers never move, mouth never moves, can I eat? So actions are nothing but movements or changes. So if nothing happens, if I sit silently, what do you say? Am I not there? Am I gone forever? Am I destroyed? I am lost? I am there, there is no change. So in this way, if composition is not there, change is not there, or getting together is not there, yet something does exist. That existence is truth, and this composition is nature of it. In the other language we can say, world is nothing but itching, scratching of the absolute. Now we saw it is the adjective of the absolute, quality of the absolute, shadow of the absolute, and the reflection of the absolute. Now we can say scratching, movement of the absolute. And when you scratch, what do you feel? Pleasure. You feel nice, isn't it? This is how the Absolute enjoys by seeing himself in different changing forms, and this is called world. So from many different angles we have discussed it, from mixture point of view or composition point of view, how the five elements they get together in different ratios, different forms, and make different solid forms, and they will have name. So it is called prapanch, with prapanch. If it is not there, there is no movement, nothing is there. The elementary element, this first element, that is the sky, the holder, the substratum, that will be there. That will be there. If the picture is deleted, the screen is there. You cannot delete the screen. Similarly, this world we can take as the nature of the absolute, or visibility of the absolute, or changing reflection of the absolute, shadow of the absolute, or the from that point of view. From this point of view, this is mixture, piling up, or getting together, or composition, or we call it scientifically organic chemistry. Some different atoms get together with different atoms in different ways. That is called all these forms and names. And still from other angle we can see, this world is nothing but, from five elements point of view, mixture of five elements, composition of it. From other angle of view, it is nothing but wavy system which is known as sound. The world is nothing but sound. Whatever object you can analyze, in the end you will get some vibrations. That is called sound. First of all, when there was no waves, only water was there, it was called water. When, because of its liquidity, it starts moving, that is its nature. So it is called water, wave. Wave is not modification or something other than the water, it is water only. Because of its nature, we see the water in the form of waves. Similarly, when the absolute starts moving or seeing itself, so that movement is known as the sound. Wavery system, unsteady system, vibratory system, that is called sound. Sound is nothing but vibration, energy. So call it sound, call it air or prana, vital energy, call it light or call it anything you like. Are you going? Please take your lunch and go. Okay? Okay. So in this way, from different angles we see. So Panchikaran, Prapanch means 5 elements, mixture of 5 elements, or without mixing up of 5 elements, one angle. And from other angle, the vibratory system, sound. Sound is the cause of this world. Sound is nothing but vibration. So vibration means wavery system. One wave gets accumulated, class with the other, get together, and this is how all the subtle waves, they become gross waves. Gross waves is gross form. This is how names and forms are created from the sound. So sound is the root cause, that means the energy, universal energy, that is movement, that is unsteadiness, vibratory system, that is called nature. This is what we see. From this, all these angles when we see, then we understand what is this world, little, not fully. When you stop understanding, then you will understand what is it. Because absolute equilibrium is a must. Then only you can understand what it is. You are trying to understand the process. The process means you cannot understand because it is subject to change. How can you understand the process? Other example, when you are going fast in the road, you don't know, you cannot read, you cannot see, you are not sure what is written in the signboards. Why? Because you are moving fast. If you stand there, that is steady. The signboard is fixed. If you will be fixed, then you can understand. If you are moving, you cannot understand that. Similarly, when you are moving, that means you are trying to understand the truth. You cannot understand. Because that is steady, you are moving. Understanding is a process. The process should be stopped to know the non-process. Process should stop to know the non-process. Steadiness, the absolute equilibrium, that is truth. So in the end, all the yogas, they have said, all the yogas, they said to stop everything, stop doing, stop thinking, stop understanding, keeping quiet. That is the most difficult job. Nobody can do it. And that it is not impossible, but it is most difficult to keep quiet. Can you stop understanding? To understand everything, you have to stop your understanding. That is the only way which we are not willing to do it. We don't stop. No, I want to understand. I want to understand. Okay, yes.
Om is a vibration. Om sound.
Om is the name of the sound we have given Om. Why? Because when we chant Om, that sound, vibratory sound, is somewhat equal to other sounds. That is original state of every sound. That's how we have named the Om Pranav to the sound system. If you chant Om, that vibration, it includes all the sounds of the world. Everything can subside in Om vibration. That is how we have named it Om, and that is the primordial sound, that is the vibratory system, that is because of the absolute transparency or purity of the absolute truth. Because it is pure, so naturally it will have it. So that what we say, we see, it is the nature of the reality. For today, this much, tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Santi Santi Santi. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Sabda Brahma ki jai, Saraswati Maharani ki jai, Jagavasiti Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om.